Here we're going to try to simplify some square roots, multiplying, dividing, but now they have negatives. So big thing to remember is all the rules we know about being able to combine with multiplication and division only work for positive square roots. So before you can do any other steps, you have to pull I out first. So I think, oh, -5, I can think of that as square root of -1 times square root of 5. And square root of -1 we have a name for, we're calling it I. And so now, since these are both positive, I can combine them as 100. And then, oh, I can take the square root of 100, so I end up with 10I. So the big thing to remember is I can't do any of those steps until I get the square root by itself. All right, let's try a division one. So square root of -48 over square root of -6. All right, so on both of these, before I can do any steps, I have to pull the I out. So this is the same as I square root of 48 and I square root of 6 because they're both negative square roots. And so now if I'm looking at division, square root of 48 over square root of 6 I can combine, and I divided by I, just like anything divided by itself, gives me 1 over 1. So I end up with square root of 48 over 6, and 48 divided by 6 is what, 8? And so that's an easier square root to deal with and try to reduce. I can think of that as square root of 4 times square root of 2. And so I got the whole thing down to 2 square root of 2. The biggest thing is you have to pull all the i's out before you can start working with the square roots.